Because I didn't do that. There we go. I'm an idiot. That's my bad. I'm sorry. So we can turn that down. Whew.
You need the tall guy to be in front?
For this one, we're probably fine. I think I got it framed up where you guys were.
Golly, Shadrina, that backdrop just looks fabulous, doesn't it?
It looks cool. When I came here, I was like, no, this is cool.
It's warm, it's...
We got 6 minutes. 1, 2, 3. Check. Check, check. 1, 2, 3. Hello, and how are you? Welcome to the Big Happier Hour. Check 1. Oh, they're not seeing me yet. Oh, you're good then. You ready? Check 1, 2, 3. How are you guys doing? I'm happy to be here. Check, check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 1. 2, 2, 2. 3, 3, 3. How are you?
Check, testing, 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 testing.
Am I in frame or like my right shoulder in front?
Take a half step to your right. Perfect. Jed, take a quarter step to your right.
To my right.
And yeah, that's a little
What do,
better balance.
what do we call?
Watch out, there's a camera behind you.
Where?
Candle.
Oh, candle. I think you said camera. What is this called again? This is
The Big Happier Hour.
Oh, good. The Big Happier Hour. Great.
The big happier hour.
What's that? Hey, we want to welcome you to the Big Happier Hour. What a fantastic name for an event. Tori Johnston, it is so good to see you. I'm Jed Mescon. What an honor to be asked to be the host of this virtual event.
We had to chase you down. We're glad you're here.
You didn't have to chase me, very far because I'm a firm believer in this. Is that okay? Uh-oh, he's not.
Yeah, there's a delay.
Uh,
I have a feeling, Tori, we may either if you're gonna face that way.
I mean, if you feel better about him just staying solo, okay.
No.
All right. I mean, I like the
Trust me,
Yeah, yeah,
it's virtual, man.
yeah, yeah,
And you know what? People have already paid.
yeah.
You got their money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
And they're having a cocktail.
yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Jed Mescott, and welcome to, there it is, the Big Happier Hour. It is such an honor, Tori Johnston, the president of the board, to be asked to do this virtual event. I'm just going to tell you, I've been the biggest supporter of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Chattanooga, an organization that's really been around since 1957. That is a lot of lives helped. And guess what? I did the interview, I've done the screening process, and in just a couple of weeks, I too will finally be a big brother.
Hey, we're excited to have you as a big, and I've been a big for almost 6 years to Darius. He goes by TD, and he is just a great young man I'm loving spending time with.
You know what? I have so enjoyed our friendship that you and I have had over the years, and it's just great to reconnect again. What is it like to be a big brother? What advice can you give me? I'm a 60-year-old man. I've never been a big brother before.
Hey, if this guy can go to the jump park, you have got this.
Yeah.
Just be you. You know, that's what I learned. Is just work them into what you're doing. Be intentional. Have fun. Just love on them and be consistent, and you will be amazed at the impact it'll make on you and honestly on them too.
You know what? There are a lot of littles in this town that are just on this list, and they are just really hoping somebody will come into their lives. I tell you who was one of the big influencers of my life is Barrett Albritton. So we work out together, and Barrett is very involved in this organization.
Yeah,
and
Barrett's
I said,
our
you know what?
ex-president.
I'm going to become a big brother. So
Oh, he is. He has got a great story he needs to share with you sometime.
yeah, he really does.
yeah.
Hey, by the way, we hope you are enjoying your meal. Compliments of 1885 in the great city of Ottawa. And in just a moment, you're going to have a great cocktail to make as well.
Absolutely. Thanks to Chattanooga Whiskey. Get ready because all the ingredients are there. It's going to be a fabulous cocktail demonstration.
Hey, I want to ask you about the $5,000 match. What's going on with this?
Yeah, so anybody who supports us tonight during the broadcast and up until a little after, we have a $1 match up to $5,000. So we need your support to keep serving these wonderful kids and families. So if you give 200, we get 400 and just on up. So thanks for considering supporting us tonight online, and thanks for being here.
We're all doing the right thing being a part of this organization. You've got a fantastic CEO that y'all brought in from Birmingham. Y'all hit the jackpot on that one.
We absolutely swung for the fence and got it. Miss Jessica Watley, you'll meet her later, and she is leading this organization to great heights.
Now, how can the husband also have great personality? I mean, that usually doesn't happen.
I
If it's-
know, we scored with them.
You really did.
We did.
Hey, I want to ask you, what are some of the most pressing issues that a lot of the young brothers are talking to their bigs about these days? This is a really tough time to be a kid.
Sure it
isn't
is. I mean, of course, you've got the confusion and whatnot of COVID, you know, being in single-family homes, just all the stress that we're all under, and I think it's just amplified when you're a child and living with a mom typically in a single-family home. So mentors and one-to-one relationships make such a difference, and that's what we're all about, and we're excited to share with you tonight.
You know, they just want to be listened to, and that's all anybody
Be
really
intentional,
wants.
just listen, be a friend.
Hey, you want to hear some great music?
Let's do
I
it.
mean, this guy has a great story, and I'm
Yeah.
now a proud employee at Tennessee Valley Federal Credit Union, and we have put this guy on the map, Suevo. He's been a big part of our commercials, and he's going to play for us tonight, but he's got a story as well. I think
He was a little brother.
He was a
with
little
us.
brother
Yeah.
as well. So he's shaking his head over there. What a nice guy. I've never met him in person before, but when you walk into the downtown office at Tennessee Valley Federal Credit Union, there's a big cutout of him, and he's like this, and it's just,
You know you've arrived when you got a cutout.
when you arrive, when you've got a full-size cutout. So Suevo, get up here.
Come on over.
We got some
Suevo.
great music. Once again, what an honor to be here tonight. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Chattanooga's big, and I mean big, happier hour. You're going to love this guy. Here he is, Suevo. Tori, thanks so much.
Thank you, Jed.
Big Sisters for having me. I want to thank Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Chattanooga for having me. Real brief, I do want to say that they were right. I am a product of Big Brothers and Big Sisters. My mom, I did grow up in a single parent home, and my mom did the best that she could to make sure that I had some positive male influences in my life. I remember his name. His name was David. Shout out to you, David. He was an awesome guy and definitely kept me on a positive path and kept my mind busy. So I want to thank you guys, and just remember, if you are a big brother or a big sister, that you are a really big influence on these kids, and you can determine how they end up, thinking and functioning as they get older. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna play a song for you guys. I hope you enjoy. much.
Listen, I got to ask you. I mean, how'd you pick the sax? Anybody that really influenced you? Are you self-taught? Did you take lessons? A little bit about
My mom definitely got me interested in the sax. She said that's what the girls like.
I was just gonna say that.
She was
the
right.
sax.
She was right. Yeah, she was right. But I've been playing for about 16 years. I started in middle school, so I've been on it ever since.
I mean, self-taught, or did you have people that really influenced you? What high school did you go to?
I went to Tyner. I started in middle school. I played in the band, so I had like that structure. I never did really learn how to read music, but I just played to my favorite songs and then just started learning how to improvise. So I've been just hearing songs and then playing them. So
it is outstanding. So I've got to ask you this question just because the news business gets back in me. So what would you like to do? What's a career track for a sax player?
Ooh, well, I am an artist at large, so I write and sing and perform songs. So I play saxophone, but I wouldn't necessarily call myself a saxophone player.
I think I would.
There's a bunch of different things that I do.
Like what?
Well, I engineer music, so on a professional level. So I engineer, I produce music, I write for artists. Of course, I play saxophone. I build artists. I've turned things into brands. You know, I want to be a marketer. You know.
All right.
Yeah.
Most importantly, you're here tonight to support the Big Brothers Big Sisters. It really meant a lot to you, didn't it?
Definitely, for sure, huge impact.
Good.
Positively.
So nice. I cannot believe I finally get to meet you. I've just seen your cutout forever. But I really wish you well, and you're going to play some more for us later on.
Oh, I could, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
sure.
They're over there going, It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Hey, and speaking of demonstrating one of their talents for us, we have a great cocktail. You've got all the ingredients at home right now, but Caitlin from Chattanooga Whiskey, she's going to show you how to make it. So once again, Suevo says, take it away, Caitlin.
Take it away, Caitlin.
Hey guys, hope you're having a great night. Thank you for joining us here tonight with Big Brothers Big Sisters. My name is Caitlin Rudder. I'm the bar manager here at Chattanooga Whiskey, and we're going to be making our cocktail for the evening. For the cocktail tonight, we're going to be using Chattanooga Whiskey 91. We're going to be using some fresh lemon juice, some lime syrup, and some triple sec. For the garnish, you can use either a orange slice or a mint sprig, whatever your preference might be. So without further ado, let's get started. First, we're going to start off with 1.5 ounces of Chattanooga Whiskey 91. We're going to do 1/2 ounce of fresh lemon juice. And then also 1/2 ounce of mint syrup. That was a test, you passed. And 1/4 ounce of triple sec. All right, so now that we have all ingredients in our shaking tin, we're gonna fill it up with ice. And now we're gonna shake. Don't be shy about it. All right, so now that our cocktail is very well chilled, we're going to fill this cup up with ice. Use a strainer. Strain your shaken concoction over the ice. And now we're going to garnish it with an orange wedge or a mint sprig. And there you have it. Enjoy. Cheers.
We hope you enjoy your drink and the rest of the Big Happier Hour.
Caitlin, I've never been a big drinker, but I believe I may start tonight. Thank you very much, Caitlin. All right, moving right along. I cannot get over how great Suevo was. Suevo, outstanding, buddy. What great mood music. And you want some great music? Let the trumpet sound, because ladies and gentlemen, Here now, the bigs of the year.
Since Jacayla has been mentored by Cindy, she has become more outgoing. She has learned to express herself openly. Jacayla has learned more about herself through Cindy. She has grown in many ways over the past few years. She has learned to assert herself. Before she met Cindy, it seemed like she had something to say, but never had the voice to say it.
Thank you so much, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Chattanooga, for awarding me the Big of the Year for 2020. Jacayla and I are so honored. We've had such a great match. It's been such a wonderful experience. And through the support of Big Brothers Big Sisters, they defend potential every day.
My son has always been a special child, but he was having a hard time dealing with all this going on around him, and I didn't know how to help. Until one day, God placed this program in our lives. I knew I had made the right decision, and through this program, I found a friend, mentor, and the most wonderful person for my son, Chip.
I just want to thank Big Brothers Big Sisters for this honor. Both Josh Chavez and myself are very honored to get this award. But really, when you look at it, it's a symbol of everyone's efforts. There are literally thousands of Big Brothers and Big Sisters in this community and around the country who participate in this, and every single one of them deserves this type of award. But again, we really appreciate being recognized. I've gotten so much more out of this than probably Josh has in terms of learning things, but hopefully we've both gotten a lot out of this, and I highly recommend it to others.
I just want to thank Big Brothers for the award, and this has really taught me a lot. I wouldn't be the same person if I hadn't met my big brother. There's so much I still want to do and learn with my big brother. So thank you, Big Brothers.
Hey, congratulations to the Bigs. You know, one of the greatest things about this organization is the support that it has from so many individuals and especially so many great companies like Unum. How about Beyond School Walls? What's that all about? We'll take a look.
I'm Kimberly Bowen, Vice President of Talent Management at Unum, and I'm also a board member here at Big Brothers Big Sisters Chattanooga. I'm excited to talk to you today about this great partnership that Unum has built with this organization over the last 15 years. Mentoring is such an important factor in the lives of our young people in our community, and I'm so excited that we are doing such great work together. It's important to recognize that as adults, we play a huge part in shaping the lives of young people. And oftentimes we go into these mentoring relationships thinking about how we can give back. But we get so much in return. Everyone benefits from mentoring relationships. And that's what Unum and Big Brothers Big Sisters have done over the last 15 years. I'm so excited for us to have this partnership. I'm so excited to be a part of this great work. And I encourage all of you to get involved in any way that you can. It's so important, it's so vital, and one person truly can make a difference.
My name is Gina Lee. I am a program manager on the corporate social responsibility team at Unum. I'll never forget the first day that we launched Beyond School Walls at Unum. It was September 29th, 2016. And in fact, we were the first corporate partner to sign on to support the program. And so I'll never forget the kids pulling up in between our buildings, Big Brothers Big Sisters staff rolled out the red carpet for all the kiddos. We had our welcome banners, and everybody, all of our Unum Bigs were cheering everybody on, and they got off of the bus. They had their red carpet, they walked into the building, their eyes lit up. But you know what? It wasn't just their eyes, it was our eyes too. Because I think in that moment we knew that something was going to be different, and it was. From there, you know, not only did we have bigs who were matched in meaningful relationships with their littles, but for the first time ever, each week, the littles were getting strategic exposure to what the workplace of today really was like. They got to see our employees walking through the atrium, going to get lunch. They got to hear our bigs, coworkers come up and talk about what their workday was like. And I really think that in a lot of ways, that changed everything because the littles really got to see what was happening behind these big buildings that say Unum on the side of them. And they saw that it wasn't just a place for their bigs, but it was a place for them too.
Good evening. I'm Jessica Watley, the Executive Director of Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we hope you're enjoying the night. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'm so glad that you all got to see a little bit of the kids walking on the red carpet. If you've never experienced a Beyond School Walls match meeting, I think everybody would tell you that that's the best part, to see the kids walking in and their bigs and other employees cheering for them. It's really changed the idea of mentoring and changed the idea of workplace mentoring. But we have a little bit more about Unum. Unum has not only done Beyond School Walls. Since 2009, over 200 of Unum employees have been bigs to kids in our program. And in addition to that, Unum has helped to recruit other workplaces. They've hosted lunches for us at their office to get other people on board into mentoring. And so we're so excited to be presenting the inaugural Defenders of Potential Award to Unum. I'd like to welcome up Kimberly Bowen. She's VP of Global Talent Management for Unum and one of our board members. And we're so thankful to be welcoming her to accept this award.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, this is such an honor. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is enjoying the night and that you've enjoyed your great food this evening. Tonight, it's my honor to accept the inaugural Defenders of Potential Award on behalf of Unum. Before I share some brief comments, I want to give a big shout out to Jessica and all of the staff at Big Brothers and Big Sisters for their critical work. And all of the bigs within our community. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you. So at Unum, we are passionate about serving our local communities. We're committed to doing our part to help build strong and sustainable communities by partnering with organizations that give individuals and families, no matter their race, demographic, or socioeconomic status, what they need to thrive. And Big Brothers and Big Sisters is doing just that, ensuring all youth in our community have the tools, resources, and relationships they need to thrive. As Jessica stated, we have been partnering with Big Brothers Big Sisters for 15 years. We've invested more than $210,000 into the mentoring program, and we've mobilized over 200 Unum mentors. But we're here to talk about the Beyond School Walls program. We were thrilled to be there on the ground floor of this program and help launch a successful and innovative approach to mentoring. We're proud to continue this partnership and will continue to give our support for this program. Although I'm relatively newer to Unum, and I was not here when we began this partnership, I've spoken to some employees who were there. And here's what one of them had to say. The launch of Beyond School Walls at Unum was the highlight of my year. I'll never forget the school bus pulling up to the building and watching the kids' faces light up as they got to walk down the red carpet and enter the building. My mentee and I spent the next year together discussing school, what it was like to work at Unum, and at times having difficult conversations about the realities my little face when she went home every night. Although we're no longer matched, I'm confident that because of this program and the support Big Brothers Big Sisters gives to each student, that her future will undoubtedly be bright. I truly believe that our time together not only changed her life, it changed mine too. And that's exactly what Big Brothers and Big Sisters does. They change lives. On behalf of Unum, thank you for the award, and thank you to everyone in the community supporting this critical work, helping to ignite the power and promise of our youth. Have a wonderful evening.
And hey, it's so great to meet your husband as well. Welcome to town. You've got 3 great kids, 1 in college, 2 in high school. You're living in Appleton. You love this area, and you don't want to go back to Ohio. So we are thrilled that you are here. Hey, don't forget the silent auction is still going on and going strong. Don't forget to bid. We'll take your money, please. Hey, it all happened back in 2006. It was just a normal football game for Inky Johnson, who played for the Tennessee Vols. Yeah, his life changed on that field, September of 2006. His life has been changing a lot, especially since he was younger. He says, quote, "I truly survived an underprivileged childhood." It is so great to be able to introduce to you tonight this motivational speaker who's been through it all. Here's Inky Johnson.
Good evening, guys. Inky Johnson here. Hope all is well. Hope your family is safe. Hope you guys are enjoying your cocktails. It's an honor to serve you and be with you this evening. One of my favorite quotes is a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King that says, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to help other people?" Like, I firmly believe I'm a product of who I am because of the investments of other people and what they saw in me when I couldn't see it in myself. I'm a product of Atlanta, Georgia, born to a mother at 16 years old. And I'll never forget, she took me back to 125 Warren. It was a 2-bedroom home. There was 14 of us living there. I slept on pallets from the time I was a kid until the time I went to college. I watched my mother work a double shift at Wendy's, right? And the thing that I loved about her was if she couldn't do something for me, she would get me in position and get me around people that could do it for me. If she couldn't get off work, she would get me with coaches, teachers, different people in the community that she felt could positively impact my life. And at a very young, ripe green age, I fell in love with the game of football. I'm talking about, I loved everything about it. I used to tell my guys, I never played a hard day of football in my life. It was recreation to me, right? Started out playing it in the street, loved everything about it. And I'll never forget, one night, me and my 3 younger cousins were in the street playing tackle football. And it was a rule for my family, when the street lights would come on, we knew we had about 10 or so minutes before we had to go in the house. And I was coming up in Kirkwood at the time, southeast corner of Atlanta, Georgia, a lot different today than it was when I was coming up. You name it, we had it. Drugs, violence, gangs, we had it, right? And we're playing football one night, street lights pop on, I had the ball in my hand, and it's a blue pickup truck at the corner. And I'll never forget it. I stand on the sidewalk and my 3 younger cousins stand on the opposite sidewalk and I'm waving the truck by. I'm like, come on, man, I got a couple moves I want to put on these jokers before we go in the house. And the truck is driving extremely slow. And it passes us by and he parks on the sidewalk. Out of the truck gets this guy and he says, "Man, would y'all like to play football on grass?" I said, "Brother, I would love that. The street is getting rough, man." He said, "Go in the house, get your guardian, let me talk to him." I went in the house, my Uncle JJ was present. I said, "Hey, Uncle, will you please come and talk to this gentleman?" My uncle said, "Sure." Uncle came outside, the guy extended his hand. He said, "Hey, man, my name is Trey Hirsch." He said, "I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even supposed to be over here. I just dropped the kid home after practice, a couple blocks over. I was leaving the neighborhood and I see these knuckleheads playing tackle football in the street." He said, "I run a program across town." He said, "I think if you bring the boys out, sign them up, be a great opportunity for them, and it could really help them develop in life." My uncle said, "Sir, we greatly appreciate it." He said, "But I hate to inform you, we don't have the money for anything like that at this moment." He said, "Inky's mother, she's a single mother. She worked a double shift at Wendy's. She don't have it to spare." He said, "The other 3, their fathers are in and out of the prison system." The coach, without any hesitation, says, "I tell you what." He said, "You bring them to the park tomorrow, I'll sign them up, I'll pay for it with my own money." And the next day we pull up to the park and I would soon find out he wasn't just paying for me and my 3 younger cousins to play ball. He was paying for kids all across Atlanta. He didn't have to be a little league coach. He had his own business. And I wanted to understand what made him go about his life in the manner of which he went about it. I wanted to understand what made him treat people the way he treated them. And so one night at the end of practice, my mother called my coach and she said, "Coach, I can't make it off my shift. Can you please take Inky home?" He said, "Sure." And we pull up to my house at 125 Warren. I get out of the truck and I'm standing on the sidewalk. And my coach says to me, "All right, Inky, I'll catch you tomorrow at practice." I said, "All right, coach." I said, "Can I ask you a question?" He said, "Sure, what you got, Ink?" I said, "I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I really want to understand this." He opened his door, got out of his truck, walked around, stood directly in front of me. He said, "What you got, Ink?" He said, "Son, I love you. First man to ever tell me he loved me." I said, "Why do you live life the way that you live it? Why do you treat people the way that you treat them? Why do you do the things you do? Why don't you ever ask for anything in return?" And he said, "Son, I'm going to share something with you, and I don't want you to ever forget it." And in its simplicity, it was yet profound. And all he said to me was, "As long as you can live your life and make sure that somebody else's life is okay, Ink," he said, "Son, God will always make sure that your life is okay." And he got in his truck and he left. And it shifted my whole perspective about everything I was blessed to be able to do and everything I was a part of. I no longer viewed the game of football just as a game. I viewed it as a platform to go out, cultivate a certain level of excellence, dedication, and commitment that if I approached it in the right way, one day it would be certain things I could extract from it to apply to other areas and aspects of my life to make me somewhat of a decent human being. And so I went on to become the first person in my family to go to college. Got a full football scholarship to the University of Tennessee. First time I stepped on campus, I'll never forget, they said, "Inky, what's your plan?" I said, "My plan is to graduate in 3 years and go to the NFL." They said, "You didn't knock it out on your test scores." I said, "I get that, but I really want to help my family." And I'll never forget, I start chumping away. Sophomore season comes along. I'm playing football at a very high level. The summer heading into my junior year, I'm watching film one day on the California Bears. Stacked team, they're loaded. And my defensive backs coach comes in, Larry Slade, great man, amazing leader. And he says, "Ink, I got some great news for you today." I said, "What you got, coach?" He hands me the first sheet of paper. He said, "Man, you're on track to graduate in 3 years." I said, "Man, that's awesome." He hands me the second sheet of paper. He says, "Ink, you keep playing ball the way you're playing it, you're projected first-round draft pick as a corner." He said, "All you got to go is go out, do what you've been doing, play ball at the level you've been playing it at, do what you've been doing, be disciplined, be dedicated, work hard." He said, "Son, your life will change forever." And when he walked out, I walked out of the room and I called my mother and my grandmother. And they picked up and I said, "Listen, after this season, our lives will never be the same again." I said, "We'll never struggle again. We'll never miss another meal." And we come out, first football game, execute, get the victory. Everything goes great. Second game, playing against Air Force. Tough group, disciplined group of guys. Fourth quarter rolls around, 2 minutes left in the game. Game is basically over. Quarterback drops back. I'm backpedaling in my quarter as a corner. Their quarterback releases the ball to one of their receivers. He catches it. I go to make the tackle, and at immediate contact, as soon as I hit the guy, it seemed as if my soul left my body. My body went completely limp. I fell to the ground. I blacked out. Never happened to me before. When my eyes opened, my teammates were running over to me and they said, "Ink, get up. Let's rock. Let's go." I said, "I can't." I said, "What do you mean you can't, man? You always get up." I said, "I know, man, but I can't feel anything. There's a shock going from the crown of my head to the bottom of my feet, one of the scariest moments in my life." The shock eventually left, but it stayed in my right arm and hand. I remember him bringing a spine board out, put me on his spine board. They wheeled me off to the ambulance. My father is standing there at the time. I say to my father, "Pops, I got him, right?" He said, "Yeah, Ink, but I think you got the worst part of this one." They get me over to the hospital. Doctors say, "We'll take you over, run a couple tests, Ink, put you in a room. It's football. Things happen. You'll be good." They take me back. They run their tests. They put me in a room. My mother comes in. She kisses me on my forehead. She cracks a joke. And she says, "Ink, you'll be good. It's football." And she's going to exit the room, and I'm watching my mother. And as soon as she exits the room, I flip my head to the left, and it's the head doctor. And he's jogging. And he's screaming. And he's saying, guys, get in here. Got to rush this kid back to emergency surgery. He's about to die." And I remember looking at him and I said, "Like, die? Like, wait for me to die?" He's like, "Yeah, die." I said, "What happened?" I said, "The situation was so calm, man. Like, what happened?" He said, "When we went in to run the test, we noticed you had ruptured your subclavian artery in your chest and you're bleeding internally." He said, "We got to rush you back, took the main vein out of your left leg, plugged it into your chest in order to save your life." He said, "I guarantee you won't be here in the morning." said, let's go. And the next morning I woke up, I had 6 incisions down my left thigh. I had 1 incision across the left side of my neck, 1 across the right, twice through my right ribs, cut out my right pec, bottom of my armpit to the bottom of my hand. I had 350 staples in my body, and they had bandaged me from my neck to my knees. And they said, Inky, when we went in to repair the artery, we noticed you had torn the nerves in your brachial plexus. I said, what's that? They said, it's the nerve roots that come from your spine that controls your shoulder, your arm, and your hand. They said, we hate to inform you, but your football career is probably over. They said, your arm and your hand will probably never be the same again. And when they left to go out of the room, I'll never forget, I was sitting there and I dropped my head and I started crying and I started to apologize. And in my room at that time was my mother and my coach that started me playing ball when I was 7 years old. My coach that when me and my family's house got broken into and a 9mm and a .45 got stuck in me and my cousin's face for the 1 pair of Nikes that we did have on Christmas, my mother called my coach. My mother didn't call my pastor. My mother didn't call my father, even though he wasn't even present at the time. She didn't call her coworker. My mother called my coach. And he showed up on Christmas morning with a little bag like you'll get from a grocery store. He said, Ink, I'm sorry about what happened, man, but it's all I could do at this time. And he had drawers and socks. And he still buys me drawers and socks every Christmas until this day, and I don't even need them. And I looked at him and I said, I'm sorry. And he said, what are you sorry for, Ink? I said, I can't make it to the NFL and I can't pay you back. And my mother started to cry and she walked out. And my coach looked at me and he said, Ink, you think I did what I did for you so you could make it to an NFL? I said, yeah, I think that was part of it. He said, man, bump the NFL. He said, man, I don't care nothing about the NFL. I don't even watch the NFL like that. He said, I did what I did for you so you could become a decent man one day. He said, I did what I did for you so one day if you get trusted with a family, you could be a decent husband one day. You could be a decent father one day. He said, the only thing I want from you is for you to take the investment that I made in you and pay it forward in the lives of other people. He said, that's the only thing I want from you, Ink. I could care less about a sport. And at that point, I was supposed to be in the hospital from 60 to 80 days. I walked out of the hospital on the 3rd day. And people would come up to me and they would say, man, Inky, man, that's amazing, man. You got such fortitude, man. Like you faced adversity, man. You overcame it and you got out of the hospital. It wasn't by my might. It wasn't by my strength. I was aware of that. It was about the belief that somebody had in me a long time ago. When I couldn't see it in myself, when I was a kid running the streets of Atlanta with a dream that a lot of people didn't think would come to fruition. When I was this kid running through the streets of Kirkwood with this pipe dream. When I was this kid when my coach bought me my first steak, and I'll never forget, I walked in the house, it was that 2-bedroom home, 14 people, and I hugged my grandma and I said, Grandma, guess what? Coach bought me a steak today. She said, he got you a steak? I said, Coach bought me a steak. And I would run in the house sometimes after practice. I would say, Grandma, Coach took me on a ride through the other side of town. He showed me these big houses and he told me I could have one. He fueled my belief. He fueled my perspective. He fueled my drive. But the thing that I'm most proud of, it isn't anything that I did through the realm of sports. The thing that I'm most proud of is the dedication and commitment that I give to my wife and my 2 children. The thing that I'm most proud of is through my foundation and the Atlanta Mission, downtown Atlanta, the 3 homeless shelters that we work with and we've adopted. The thing I'm most proud of is through my foundation, every single year when we have our back to school bash and we give out book bags and we give out pencils and pads to pay it forward in the lives of other people, the investment that started with me years ago. And so I say that to say this, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to help other people? Like, I'm not one of these guys that travel and act like I know it all, but I do know this to be true. In life, we don't burn out because of what we do. We burn out because life makes us forget why they do it. I just want one thing from you. As incredible, as gifted, as talented as you are, what you do with your job, your career, that's awesome, man. But never allow life to make you forget why you've been put on this earth. And that's to make an impact. Thank you for your time. God bless you. It was a pleasure to serve you. Peace.
Man, if you didn't get chills hearing that, something's the matter with you.
No doubt.
Wow. Barrett Albritton, it's so good to have you here. You've been involved with this organization for so long. You have gotten me involved with this, and you're a big brother as well, but you were actually there in 2006 when he got hurt.
I was, and more than anything, I think Inky is a testament to what every kid can achieve. He went through such a trying time and has turned it into such a positive.
You said
he's amazing to watch.
Neyland Stadium, just not a sound was heard when he was on the
Couldn't
field.
hear a sound when it happened, and we sat there breathless, kind of watching what was going on.
Hey, I want to thank you for being a great influence on me and getting me involved in this organization. I think tonight is fantastic. So
It's fantastic.
to all of you behind the scenes who have put this on, great. I'll tell you what else is fantastic. The number 60, that's how many matches you have had in 2020. You were the former president of the board, and Tori is now taking over. But 60, that's a lot. But you know what is even more than that number? 78 kids still want to be placed.
Right, so don't take that 60 for granted, guys. We still need you.
You're right. And if you don't believe us, listen to this.
My name is Kamari Scales, and I've been matched with my brother for 2 years now.
My name is Malia Scales, and I've been matched with my big sister 6 years now.
For my first big, he taught me how to take stuff serious. If I had never met him, I wouldn't be the way that I am now. And my second big, he taught me, patience, because I was a very impatient person. Without both of them, I don't think I would have made it this far. Like, I don't think I'd be the person that I am today.
She has taught me patience, how to talk to different people and be not so shy in life. She has taught me a lot.
What do you think Laura learned from you?
A lot of stuff. She's somebody I'm comfortable talking with. She's a great person to conversate with.
When I first met my big, the first big that I've had, he was funny. When I first met him, I think as time went on, I think I showed him how, it's okay to goof off and, smile about some situations, because I know he was a serious person. From the 2 years that we were together, I know I helped him. Now the second big I have, him, he was just outgoing. I looked at him as like he was my actual brother. I didn't have a father figure. He went from just being a big brother to like an actual father figure to me. But I could trust him. I could talk to him about anything. So I know one thing I taught him was, to help me. He helped me. The big brother, big sister, it means a lot to me, because it helps you get to where you want to be as a young adult, and it helps you start to grow more and progress and get you out of your comfort zone to do something that you wouldn't normally do. Like, it helps you, strive to be a better person.
It helps me grow and become a better person, and helps me in life with life issues.
My little sister has grown to be a fine young woman. Before she started, she was she wasn't the way that she is now. She's smart, talented. I can trust her with stuff that I couldn't. You normally trust 11-year-old with, or I feel like now as my sister, I could really call her a friend.
Kamari has changed a lot over the past 4 years, and he's becoming a great brother, more mature, very, very smart. He's like the best brother in the world.
1 in 3 young people don't get connected to a mentor. We can't leave this to chance. Our mentors defend the potential of our youth and spark a light in them they sometimes did not even know existed. Your support allows us to continue supporting lifelong connections. We know that not everyone has the time to become a big, but financial contributions are equally as important to continue this great work.
Golly, what a night. How awesome was that?
Amazing.
Kamari and Malia, great job. Suevo, awesome job. Inky, I've heard you 5 times and I get goosebumps and inspired every time you speak to us, so thank you. I'm Tori Johnston. I am most importantly the big brother to Darius. He goes by TD. We've been matched about 5 years and he is an amazing young man. I hope you get to meet sometime. I'm also the president of the board of Big Brothers Big Sisters. And first of all, I want to say thank you to the sponsors who have made tonight so possible. The Vane Institute, Southern Surgical Arts, Cigna, Unum, Courtney Bullard, Experts Exchange, and Urban Story Ventures. So thank you to them. They made it all possible. And thank you to you. I mean, you have carved out a piece of your night to spend it with us. I hope your dinner was good. I hope it was warm. I hope your cocktail was good. And we just really appreciate you tuning in and spending time with us and letting us tell you a little bit more about Big Brothers Big Sisters and the work that this incredible staff does, the board that I work along beside does, really igniting the potential of youth here in Chattanooga. So I'm excited to be introducing you again to Jessica for a few comments.
Thanks. You know, I hope you got to learn a little bit about what we do here tonight, but I want to tell you a little bit about what else we've done this year in 2020. 2020 threw us all for a curveball, right? We didn't know what to expect and we've been thrown for a loop. But one thing that we wanted to do is make sure that while we do one-to-one mentoring, we wanted to make sure that our families had everything they needed. Because we know when families succeed, our kids succeed. So immediately we got to work and we pivoted and we made sure our families had the resources they need to keep their lights on and to keep their homes. One thing that we did is as we were checking in with our families, we did a survey and we were wondering what other resources they need. And one thing that was really interesting that we heard from them is over 90% of them said we were the first organization to reach out to them after COVID and after the tornadoes to make sure they had what we needed. And we can only do that type of work because of the sponsors of tonight and supporters like you. So thank you for doing that. In a world and a time where isolation is the norm, while we've made 61 matches, we've done over and above to make sure that our mentors and our littles stay connected. Because we know when kids are not in school or doing virtual school, that they're not getting to interact with people as much and they need that social connection. So we want you to know with your support, we're continuing to make sure that they're connected, whether it's safely and socially distanced in person or virtually. So thank you for how you've made that possible.
Thanks, Jessica. And again, thank you guys for being here tonight. We need your support. We're asking for your support, and we have got a generous donor tonight who has agreed to match every dollar we raise tonight up to $5,000. So if you give 100, Big Brothers Big Sisters gets 200. If you give 250, we get 500. So thank you, donor, and thank you, all of you, for tuning in and giving us just again a part of your time to understand what we do better. And I can tell you as a big, I'm just proud to be here and represent this organization, and we want to continue pouring into these children and igniting their potential. So thanks for your time, thanks for your attention. If you would like to volunteer, reach out to us. We have 78 waiting people, littles for bigs, for great one-to-one mentoring relationships. So we appreciate it and thank you very much.
So with that, thank you all. Thank you for joining us for the first inaugural Big Happier Hour. We hope next year we're gathering together in person. And thanks for your support. Enjoy the rest of your cocktails and have a great night.
Thank you so much.